It's really good here, though. It's really good. Like
You did mention it before they picked it. You mentioned it first round.
the only problem is, if you remember the first draft from Tempo, they picked Lina in the first stage, and she was mid. Remember, the Doom right now is played quite a lot on mid lane too. So they do have that flexibility. You could go with the Veno right now, +1 ranged hero, and completely shut down that Undying in the laning stage, dominate him. So that's also an option for them. We'll see if they are willing to actually position this Doom mid lane. But I think that could be a really, really good idea for them, because if you're laning Doom versus Undying, well, maybe with the Veno position 4, right?
Yeah.
Maybe that could work.
You did mention yesterday, which I agree with, that Undying, like, he has a lot of issues the hero doesn't do, like in the game. So your other heroes have to patch those up. And I think that's like objective taking, lane clear, stuns would be like the 3 that come to mind. They do have that already.
Yeah.
With the 2 heroes they picked prior to the Undying. So with that in mind, I think the potential weakness of an Undying draft not being well-rounded is not a problem this game. But once again, like, I think heroes like Doom do not necessarily have to lane against the Undying. Like, you can either make it a support, like you said. You can, like, the Veno may enable it. You can also just move it mid. So they get the Terrorblade into Veno. I think that's like a pretty common lane counter. So I think they're thinking, okay, one of these heroes is going off lane. Undying's really good against Doom, and Terrorblade's really good against Veno. So whatever they put there is going to be bad. Like, I think that's the idea. And then they immediately go for the Drow. Usually considered a pretty good Terrorblade counter, just because your ult goes through armor, and Terrorblade has a lot of that. But I don't know. It never really feels like it plays out that way for me. Like, on paper, Drow seems really nice. But a lot of the other heroes in the game do matter a lot. I think in this game, Drow's going to have a really hard time hitting things in fights. Like, I think, yeah, she has a lot of frontliners on him, or like to cover for her. But if they give like one hero that jumps the Drow, I don't really know what they're supposed to do about it.
And that should be their last pick.
Yeah, that's
their
what I'm saying. It's going to come in the last pick.
Yeah, that mid laner is going to be their playmaker. It's going to be that high reach kind of hero, most likely. When it comes to tempo with this draw, at least the Venomancer is enabled a little bit, and they do have a lot of things to cover. Like you said, they pretty much have 3 frontliners and draw right now. You have the Treant with Overgrowth, you have the Doom that's naturally one of those heroes that runs in first, but most importantly, you're going to have a bunch of Plague Wards everywhere. You're going to have that Gale as well to work with, so there are some positives for this draw. Like I said earlier as well, when we were talking about these Glass Cannon heroes, I haven't seen draw really dominate a game unless she's buffed up extensively by her teammates, something like Beast, Vengeful Drow. Here, when you look at this Drow, okay, Doom can eat a wolf and build some utility, but that's pretty much it. You don't have these big saves for her, you don't have a swap, anything like that, and you don't have anything that's going to buff up her damage in that mid-game.
Her positioning is going to be paramount in these fights, because once you get her, she's done. Like, kind of as you said, there's no save, there's no like repositioning tools, there's no, they don't have like peel, you know, like once you get on top of her, yeah, they can like doom the target, maybe gale them or something like that, but it's not exactly what I think you're looking for at Drow. So it's one of those situations where Drow could be strong in fights, but it's like a really fragile game plan.
This Storm is good, I think, for both of these teams.
I was going to say, it's a nice deny pick, too.
Yeah, it's a nice deny pick. It's a nice pick for both of them. Bait, they needed that high reach. Quap has been banned out. There is an option to go for Puck. Okay, beat me to it. It's really good with the Phoenix. It's good versus Storm, right, in the laning stage as well. It gives you that reach. You're hands down completely in Terrorblade's hands later on in the game, which might be problematic, but I think your team fight is really well rounded and you might fight around this draw. However, the problem is if Storm with the draw's help pops off, it's going to be hard to deal with him.
We saw Bait do this in the first series they played. They picked Puck against a Drow, and it felt like in that series that the Drow just got coiled and died.
Yep.
And I'm a bit concerned that's going to happen again here. Like in the early to mid game, anytime Bait attempts to smoke or look for a kill on the Drow, if the coil goes off, the Drow's dead. And I don't know, like, Storm's just not enough to carry this game. Drow has to be alive. So if they can get to a point where Drow's able to survive that, I like tempo. But I once again will go with Bait because there's no ability for Dendi to play
Run
Genji this time. Yeah.
No, I like both of these drafts. I like Bates as well a little bit better. I think they have more of a reliable catch too. With the Beastmaster, with the Roar, they have the way to push objectives too a little bit easier. I'll go with them.
Undying's been waiting for this moment.
I was about to say, you both are just literally looking at me seriously.
Yeah,
telling
we went
me
with Undying.
Yeah,
is going to
waiting
take
for
a
this
win,
moment. This is his time.
and Doom is going to take its first loss.
It's not Undying's first game of the day. He's been warming up in the pubs. He's ready. All the other games, first games of the day.
Ah, that makes perfect sense now.
Yeah.
We have an excuse for the hero alone. Doesn't matter who's using it. Just he was waiting for this magic moment, the time to come online. So bait all the way with you guys. Oh my, oh my. What's the needed requirements for Tempo then to get the job done?
Your Storm needs to pop off. Like he said, Drow's positioning is paramount. Like you really need to think of the ways that you approach these team fights. I'm not sure what Venomancer and Treant are going to accomplish as the duo of supports, if they are the supports. I'm not sure, because they still could put Veno offlane. But knowing them, it's going to be a Doom position 3. Storm has to make a ton of space.
Well, let's see if he does make a ton of space. Let's get ourselves into this game. KP and Pycat, seems like these boys think that Undying's going to get this first win. They think that Bait can turn it around after that terrible first game. What do you guys reckon?
Oh, I think he's you guys are measuring on the wrong thing here. For me, this game is how good is Bait's ability to get each other killed going by last game. And that is where it gets to be interesting, because, you know, they do have the Sunders, so Chrysalis could theoretically kill his own teammate, and you could get an Ags on the Phoenix, but this is where their bounce back is, Pycat. There's a Doom, so they won't be able to cast their spells.
Yes.
No tragic chrono mode.
Yes.
There we go. We big brained it for them.
Yes. No, I think I quite like the Bait lineup here too. I think a lot of it makes sense. I mean, I want to go against the Undying just because it's Undying, and you know,
Stats, man.
just yeah, stats don't lie. Nah, but I think this looks like to me it just looks like a very nice Terrorblade game. I mean, except for maybe the Storm, I think you have tools for that Storm. Like you have a Puck and you have a Beast. I think the team fight of Bait is also quite strong. So I think I like the Bait lineup here. I also feel like Terrorblade is just going to be able to shove a lot of waves in this game, and it should be pretty difficult for Tempo to deal with that unless the Storm like really pops off. So looking forward to seeing how the mid lane goes, seeing who kind of comes out on top, if Storm manages to kind of get the ball rolling early on, or you know, if he gets stunned.
It's also the fragility across the board for Tempo, right? Like, there's no one on the team that is eventually going to feel like a frontliner. It's not even the Doom, right? Because he's a +4 Doom. So you compare it to Bait's side, where they're going to have this army to run for the Beastmaster. They're always going to be healed up by the Phoenix. And TB, when you get in that late game scenario, compare him to a Drow Ranger. He can stand his ground a lot more effectively.
Yeah, I mean, what I feel like is like there are like layers of tank in this lineup, I would say. Or it's like, I mean, the idea is you want to have this Veno who, I'm assuming he's going to go for some sort of tanky items, right? And then he's sort of backed up by the Treant, like with Treant armor, maybe the ult, and then they have to run through, like ideally, right? They want to force them to run through this Veno and his snakes, and then the Treant armor, and on top of that, there's going to be some Doom and then Storm just and Drow kind of dealing damage. Like that's how they intend to play this. With that said, I still think that the team fights might favor Bait, just off the fact that they have this Puck Phoenix and Beast.
Yeah, they have the reach, right? And the important part is it's set up, allowing the TB to close the gap, especially that Dream Core in the fight is going to be crucial for that.
Yeah, Ags on Puck this game should be quite strong. Very, very strong. Some might even say.
At least for Tempo at this point, the Storm start off to a decent start. He's actually outdoing Denny in terms of CS, but the problem here is like it's a disparity in terms of what you can do with levels alone, right? Like the Puck will be able to make kills happen early, whereas Storm, we've seen it time and time again, it's a hero that unless he gets an Arcane Rune or Regen Rune, don't expect him to do anything before level 12.
Yeah, no, the Storm, he kind of just wants to sit back and farm. We might see first blood bottom on the Beastmaster. Yeah, no, the Storm, he kind of just wants to hit some creeps, and, you know, Puck is more inclined to rotate around the map early on. The one thing, though, is that Potentially, we might see the Storm rotate a bit, as they do have both a Venomancer and a Drow, and neither of these heroes really enjoy rotating that much, so maybe that leaves the job up to Storm. We might see him make some sort of rotations.
Maybe if you get like good levels in DMZ early, that will stand as a deterrent to puck getting too aggressive. Feels like that's the other roles
definitely.
really
Yeah, or like you said, you know, like if he gets a regen, arcane, PD haste, whatever, then you can always see the Storm try to make something happen.
Getting a little bit low. Fishman can just be denied here, but Chrysalis decides against it. He goes for the kill on the DMZ instead. Does get it. They can just pressure Mitch out. So decent value out of that first Metamorphosis. Question is, can I actually like pressure him immediately after it ends? Because you are still like a low armor hero, and Doom isn't able to you like with this build. I don't feel like he's going to be running people down for kills. It's because he has gone for the Infernal Blade over the Scorched Earth. Yeah,
he needs some more levels. He ports mid to refill the bottle of Storm. This is going to be quite helpful, actually. I think kind of necessary almost. We'll see if Puck manages to get this bottom rune or not. So it's 2 runes for the Storm. It's gonna help him quite a bit. And the Veno is not gonna be too sad right now, seeing as he gets a salve and they can return to top and there's no meta for 90 seconds.
Yeah, DNC just basically being the whole team's core at this point. Meanwhile on the bot lane, like things have calmed down a little bit since that first bout. There's no denying this is not an easy lane for the Beastmaster at all though. Like Drow, Treant is just one of those kind of very quickly becoming infamous combos.
Yeah, I mean the Treant in this scenario just offers so much more than the Phoenix can. Especially since the Phoenix did opt to go for the boots first.
Like maybe Headdress would have been better here?
Yeah, some sort of stats, you know, like some Mangos and Tangos and Fairy Fires is something I would imagine him going for, but you know, he's playing the game and I'm just sitting here talking about him playing the game, so the fuck do I know?
Hey. No, see, you're looking at the wrong pie cat. In a way, you've ascended, because now, really, as long as you like casting it, you're winning either way. You don't have to worry about winning the match.
That's
right?
true,
you're
man.
a winner.
That's true.
That's
true.
And then you can always go, well, you see, as a former TI player, I can tell you that Undying shouldn't have died there.
Right. I have that final trump card, you know.
Yeah, the classic. Well, you can say whatever you want.
He can write to me. He can write to me, and he can say, you should have blah blah. You know, like this is, and I can still say what I want. You know, no one's gonna hear him.
Yeah, you can be like, bro, you're still trying to be a professional player. I've done that, and now I'm trying to be a professional caster. All right, step up.
I got you. Smart, some tactics.
Smart. It's like, what's the classic one? It's like, yeah, you know what? I'm not saying like I'm better than X player, but I have one. It's like I'm not saying I'm as good as Arteezy, but have won as many TIs as he has.
Yeah, nice. Nifty. So it's already a 2k advantage from the laning stage for the tempo lineup right now. Are doing well in all 3 lanes.
And this was needed as well, right? Like we can't emphasize this enough. This lineup kind of has to project forward off the laning phase, or is just going to become the TV show.
Yeah, definitely. And we see actually a rotation towards top right now with the Storm, and I like this if they manage to get this kill. Yeah, I think it's a very good idea. He just popped meta, and they rotate top, and they're going to be able to kill the Terrorblade and take out the Tombstone. It's going to be very valuable for the Storm here, and also very painful for the Terrorblade, because once he returns to this lane, he's not going to meta the Veno now hitting level 6. Level 3 Plague Wards. So, yeah, it's a good rotation. And the thing is, the Puck, he can't really do much to punish this. He can push the wave a little bit. He doesn't have a catapult anymore, so he just gets some levels at gold. And yeah, smart rotation by Noob.
Yeah, you definitely get value. That's the beautiful thing about going against Undying, right? Just when you're not sure if the gank is worth it, he casually drops the Tombstone to try and protect his carry. And it almost never works when it's that level 1 Tombstone.
Yeah, we are seeing a rotation down here though by Dendi. This could be something very dicey for tempo.
DNZ. Drinkle on the 2. LeBron gets caught alongside Doom. The Doom stands his ground. They turn around. The damage coming out from LeBron and from the Doom is enough. Beastmaster goes down. This is going from bad to worse for the side of Bait.
And I'm not sure. I think they were just like hesitant to commit. I feel like initially I saw that he did manage to catch all 3 heroes in the coil. So it's kind of unfortunate the Drow was able to step back, but then the Drow just was allowed to just sit there and cast the spells, and yeah, they just turned it around.
More importantly, like, you can be baited and going, oh, well, he hits the illusory orb, but should be a lot of damage coming out from Pop. Because he's prioritized the Wane and Rift in this game, he has to be in the middle of the fight. You can tell he doesn't feel comfortable with that. He's not going to feel comfortable with the current state of the lane as Noob dives him. The right clicks might be enough at this rate. Has to go for short jump forward. But Noob gets the kill. Should die for it. Couldn't even get the right clicks off because 5-up does have the level 3 fire spirits.
Yeah, and that might not be the worst trade, to be honest, in the world for bait. I mean, it's not like they chose this, but Phoenix now gets a very early 6, and I'm not sure that the extra kill for the Storm. The one thing he has now is he's allowed to TP to a lane. He could potentially just port top or port wherever he wants to and play from there, but it's not like the puck lost a lot from that happening.
No, and while that's happening, not only do you get the 6 on Phoenix, but Beastmaster gets a casual solo kill onto the Trin, which will free him up a little bit. In the meantime, though, top lane, Noob does find the pick off on a 5-up. This is all part of the plan. He let Phoenix have the XP, so he gets more XP in return. Very
next level. Next level play.
You know.
The next level play.
The next level. All right, LeBron. I don't think this is next level, because nobody's coming to assist him. I say that, they're coming in now, but it's way too late. Look, cancel that TP. DNT, what are you doing?
Very curious
Get out
about
here.
this.
The bomb works, but you shouldn't have pressed it. And now you're going to lose the tower for sure.
Yeah, very peculiar follow-through on that port by Doom.
I mean, I know he turns into small dooms. Maybe he thought he wanted to show off his micro skills, but that's not the way you do it. They don't really have the wave to push in, but they will soon because the Tombstone is slowing down this creep wave.
The best time to cancel that port was right after you cast it. The second best time was right before it finished.
Sure, the second best wasn't when his teammate canceled it. Then the third best is, yeah, you're doing this alone, Hans.
Nah, that's not how the meme goes. Sorry.
Well, you see, you know, you can either copy what everyone else does by that, or you can try and innovate, you know.
Yeah, I just copy what everyone else does. Not an innovator here.
Where are the days of voice innovation and Brewmaster support? So, oh, last hero.
Yeah, I'm sorry, but those days are long gone.
I'll take that.
Oh, I'm upset, man. I gotta say though, Pedro, you do a great Swedish accent.
Yeah, I try my best.
All right,
So-
they need to try harder though.
Yeah,
Because
and
right
we're
now,
seeing kind of what they were talking about earlier on on the panel, and what I was saying too is that, like, if the Storm managed to get off to a really good start, we could see him kind of just, you know, like, run away with this game, and he is off to what I would say is a very good start. He's already level 11 minutes in. He is about halfway, a little bit closer than halfway to his Orchids. So he's having a grand old time.
Yeah, then you compare that to Dendi, like 1,200 gold in the bank, only at level 9. What is the like? Is there an IM that just instantly has you going? Yeah, puck's in the game. So you don't want to go for something like a blink, right? You maybe you're thinking something.
I think you have to go Yules here on puck.
Yules.
Seeing as how the Storm is going for the Orchids and he's already so close, I think you don't really have a choice. You could go for the blink and just kind of play the game where you kind of want to sit behind targets and kind of just bait the Storm to jump in. That is one approach that you could take, and just kind of hope for the Storm being stupid and jumping in. But it kind of, then you have to rely on the enemies.
Stupidity doesn't always work. Although then again, Noob, he did go in, and he definitely regret that one.
Then again,
Mitch also committed. Turn around, Fishman and 5-up roll low. Fishman's going to be brought down. Chrysalis has got the wand, but the Doom will ensure that he cannot even use that, or the Sunday's dead. Alright, just press your buttons on the side of tempo. They're still chasing the Cryolat, and Dendi can't even get the kill. Last hero is trying to commit on top of him. They do move forward, they'll be able to find the drow in the end. Dendi just right-clicking into Mitch. Mitch trying to find some vengeance before he goes down himself. The double TP out is successful by Bait.
Yeah, nice fight there from Bait. I think it all started with that Storm sipping in, and I'm not sure if I caught that right. It looked like he was just standing still in the coil. He was just
Like
not...
he thought he was almost, you know, those kind
Like
of
he
I'm already
thought-
dead moments sort of thing.
Yeah, and I'm not sure. Maybe he was out of mana. Maybe his mana was just too low to like break the coil without dying anyway. But yeah, just... Or am I crazy here? Is this something
I
that's
mean, he
been
did get
changed?
hit by the Waning Rift eventually. But
I
it was
saw
maybe like
he
a
held it
window.
for a long time, and I'm just thinking,
Yeah.
am I really crazy? And you... Are you not able to zip out of it, or am
Oh,
I...
I don't think you can ball lightning out of the Dream Coil, right?
Is that something recent? Because no. What? Okay, maybe I'm just losing my
Pretty
mind
sure
here.
you can't. Yeah. I think you're just having one of those moments. It's okay, Pycat. I don't know how old you are actually. You're getting old. Right, it's
I am. I'm getting old. Where am I?
You are. This is a League of Legends game. Yeah.
Ah, right.
SEA.
Now it makes sense.
Bendy, trying to move away. Just about gets out. Nah, not so lucky though. Tombstone dies alongside its owner. And I mean, it just feels like every attempt Bait is making. Like when you get the slip up, such as Storm deciding to be out for a trek in the river alone, thumbs up. But as soon as Tempo coming at you as 5, it almost feels like Bait are unable to repel them, even though they have some big team fight spells from the Puck and the Phoenix.
Yeah, I mean, you can see already, like, this Veno, he has his mech, and he's level 10, he has the max Plague Wards with the max Poison Sting, so he kind of just has to set up a perimeter, and then getting in through that perimeter is quite difficult. We did see Dendy, he opted to go for the Blink.
Yep, and allows him to get close enough to find a kill on the bitch. Had to work for a little bit. The mechanism would usually be more useful than this, but there was no way in hell anyone from Tempo was going to assist him.
Yeah, Orchid's almost completed. His kind of like net worth got a bit slowed down there, Storm, by his death. And we're gonna see a smoke here by Bait.
They catch him right before he gets it. The problem is they do not have the Dream Coil. Ball lightning dodges out the silence, and Noob should be able to get out of this. He wants the bounty room. He won't be able to get it, but he might be able to get a kill on the Denny. Instead, he's baited in too far. And Noob, I mean, the name says it all. Gets a little bit caught out there. Dendy lives. He's hunting forward towards Krylat's location. He needs to be careful because the gust is going to come out. And now both the mids having a little bit of a whoopsie-daisy moment. Primal Roar. Egg goes down.
That was very strange.
And they'll just right-click it. They need to stop Krylat right now, but they can't. DNZ is going to die. Poison Nova comes out. Chrysalis now needs to find a new target. The TP out attempt by Krylat will be successful.
Oh yeah, I mean, I feel like he should definitely have been able to just either just silence the draw or dodge that silence. It was very strange interaction there between Puck and Drow.
Do you think maybe he thinks he's on the other team? We're at that moment. Right?
Yeah, maybe.
Because you got the tree on your side, the Phoenix is on the other.
Yeah.
At some point, you're seeing these green and red, and you're like, I don't know what's real anymore. There's no way we didn't get the tree and the Phoenix combo together.
Color blindness is a real thing, right?
That's true. And it comes in many different varieties. There's a spectrum for it. It's not just lol, you can't see color. There's definitely something going on for Noob. Hopefully what will go on from next is kills. He's got an arcane rune and straight in, there you go. All he knows for sure is this guy was in the lane against him, so he's his enemy. The problem is that 5-up will not let Dendy die. This now might be a bit obvious.
Yeah, I mean, they do have the Hawk there. I feel like this is a very risky... They can set up with the snakes. Yeah, they have some snakes already set up, so they do have some...
Go in again. They jump around top of Dendy. This time they have the damage. No Phoenix around to save the day. And it looks like Tempo will get exactly what they want. Plus the bonus of a kill on a Fairy Dragon.
Yeah, it might just be a free Roche here. Doesn't look like they're going to be able to commit.
Don't worry, here comes the 5-up play. Let's make a free down. That's his third death.
And the Dire.
He got the kill. Yeah. So at least they got the gold, but that is now Storm Spirit Renegas.
I mean,
one of the more threatening heroes in the game.
I call worth it on that one. For the Phoenix, at least.
Yeah, I mean, what else was he going to do in the next 30 seconds? Basically nothing. That's not like you could fight them directly, not with Dendy being dead. And you can already see he's queued up that yours now, but it really does feel like Bait shouldn't be getting caught out as hard on the vision game when they have the Beastmaster, but That whole sequence of events is really caused by Tempo's top-notch vision around that mid area, actually.
Yeah, I mean it's basically the trade is like
Radiant are
the
scanning.
plague wards versus the hawk.
Yeah, of course you have a little bit more fluidity, right, with the Hawks compared to the Plague Wards, where Venom actually has to be present, at least to initially place them. So I guess it's the lingering factor, which is why, like, Venom, it's this hero that just sets up in an area, right? It just makes it his fortified home, and ensures no one else can come there.
So Age is
A little bit
now
skirmishing.
on the Storm. I think this is like the ideal time, I think, to fight for them. They just need to sort of find any sort of angle. They don't necessarily even have to look for kills here, I think. I think they just want to shove lanes and have the Veno kind of set up at a tower, just put down some snakes, and then they kind of can take a fight around this, where Storm is able to just jump in, silence whatever, fight with the Aegis, and then come back to life and fight again.
You'll have to be
Yeah,
better
you can just
than
set up
that.
this situation where you allow bait to exist in this bottom corner, and then control like 70% of the map if you're on the side of Tempo. Like, take 2 lanes. Acknowledge that eventually your tier 2 bot is going to die. It is a Beastmaster lineup after all. But just get the better trades and prep for something. Now getting closer to having better initiation as well, because DNC is going towards the Blink Dagger next, just a few hundred gold away. At which point you should switch over the Stomp, and then it should be fairly easy from that point, I want to say, to just kill Chrysalis from 100 to 0.
Yeah, I mean, the one thing is, though, Terrorblade is a pretty fast hero. He did go for the movement speed talent. He has drums, so it's not like the easiest thing to just chase him down. Even though you get the Blink of Doom, he might just run away. And, you know, they have Soul Rip, so he might not die that easily unless he's actually caught, you know, by the Storm or someone else.
That's a fair
need
point.
to
Like
be-
with Bait, actually, they have the double heal support combo, right? So it's even more imperative to remove those as this game goes on. With both the Phoenix and the Sora from the Undying.
Yeah, they need to be a bit mindful of those things. So a bit of a pause here. Can you spot the following heroes? Duza, Monkey King, Wraith King.
Oh, we're playing this, are we? I don't know if we can play. Can this? I don't think the casters can play.
No, I don't think you
I've
can click
tried
the
before.
buttons, but I think you can still find the heroes, no?
Oh, yeah. Please try and call out things on this mapping of heroes. You know, oh, yeah. 4th row in from the left.
Yeah,
Third down.
I know. I see
Have
it.
you found one yet?
Yeah, of
I mean,
course.
Monkey King. Yeah.
I mean, Duza.
Oh, yeah. I
Yeah.
found the Monkey King.
Alright, Duza's from the right. From the right. Like, from the right.
Same,
4th row from
same
the right.
Monkey King. Then look
Yeah,
down.
and
from there,
Monkey.
you find the
Yeah, I
Monkey
see
King.
it. I see it. See
Then
it.
if you move across by 5 rows to the left,
Yeah.
you find the Wraith King 1 down from Medusa. There you go. Look at us.
You got it.
This is really, really riveting, amazing commentary of a great playground game, dude. I can't wait for us to commentate musical chairs together when no one plays.
I mean, we got this. I feel like we're doing such a good job right now.
Yeah, I'm proud of you, buddy. You've gone from a player to coach and instantly to caster. You're already feeling comfortable. You get in with the banter. Alright.
To be fair, I did casting before as well, right? So I'm like,
That's true,
you know,
that's
it's like riding a bike, you know.
Yeah, I'm just saying, you know, it's been a while, right?
It's been a minute, definitely.
It's okay. You know you're back in full motion when, as a commentator, in a pause, you resort to talking about cosmetics in the game.
I'm nailing it.
Hammer
Frickin-
and nail in the hand, buddy.
10k MMR casting right now.
Are you 10k?
In casting? I mean, I'd like to think so.
Yeah.
I guess that's not really up for me to decide, but
Well,
I do my
I'm
best.
sure they'll give you 10k plus 1 in the chat, okay? Because you had the whole like anime hair going on, so you're at least 9,000.
yeah. But the thing about
Right.
the chat, I feel like they're, you know, they have a tendency
Well,
to
be
be a little
careful
bit rude.
now.
They have a
Whoa,
tendency to be
whoa.
a little bit rude, you know. They might put me as a 10, but out of, let's say, 1,000 or something, you know. And that's just
Oh, so you're
that's
saying
not cool.
they're giving you part of the information, okay?
Yeah.
In a lot of ways, it's like a game of Dota. You know, you don't have all the information available to you when you make these plays. We have God mode. Players do not. Well, not for a few years now, but there may have been ones that got away with that cheat in the past. Fresh.
All Alright, looks like we're just about to be ready here.
See you later, nerds.
Come on. Ooh, ready to do this. Cool.
So I was talking to you before this game about the spicy pool of heroes that Chrysalis has that he likes to play. Like,
Right.
he started to become a normie carry, but he does things like Legion Commander carry a lot.
Yeah. So where's...
Have you got any?
If I have any spicy heroes?
Yeah, if you've got this really weird, out of the ordinary thing that you go back to regularly in your games.
I mean, if I play unranked, I am a big fan of playing anti-mage or Terrorblade support.
Of course, who turns anything.
Orb of Venom on anti-mage. On Terrorblade, you just need to buy Wraith Bands. You just gank mid with meta. That's it. You just go there with meta and hit people.
Please keep going. The spectators are listening and starting up their unranked games now.
Okay, so I don't want to interrupt the action, but I actually think I played Terrorblade support as 4 in a competitive game once.
Yeah, I think we saw Yapsel do that more recently as well. The secret.
Yeah, maybe, yeah.
He likes to do practically anything. Apparently, usually the discussions with Puffy is just like he'll make 30 stupid suggestions, and then like on the 31st...
He has to let one slide, basically.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
That's how we got sniper support for a while. You know, it was already trending a little in the high-level pub games.
Right.
That had to make the shift across.
Right. Yeah, so we see here, I think tempo, the idea now, it should be to kind of push them back. Just go with this bottom lane. The Necro books are expiring. I think they want to make use of this Aegis. Storm can, he can join them bottom through either mid or bottom or whatever. And just kind of go for these pushes. They could potentially smoke up, but I feel like what you want to just make use of this Aegis. They might wait for the blink on Doom, but I feel like it might not be fully necessary.
No, he can be in 2 to 3 seconds after you initiate. Like with Scorched Earth plus drums, he'll be zooming around at max movement speed. So it's like getting in isn't the problem. It just feels like they're a bit slow to connect because they're more concerned about the state of the waves. They don't want to like allow the towers to be pressured at all.
Yeah, exactly. And I think that's also why like this game is such a nice Terrorblade game, just because of how easy it is for this Terrorblade. There's not really any way for them to kill these illusions very easily. So once he gets Manta, it's going to be even easier.
Oh, full lining in. Overgrowth was there, but looks like Puck will make it out. However, Phoenix not so lucky. Soul Rip is a big one, but not big enough. He does die in the end. That should give Tempo access to kill towers in his lane. He might even hang around for a second one. Still got that Aegis to play with for a little bit longer.
Dire's structures are fortified.
And I think if you're bait, you kind of just have to let them have it as well. Your Terrorblade doesn't want to fight right now.
Yeah, no, I mean, you don't really want to buy back on the Phoenix. If they force this bottom, I think that they're going to definitely fight here, despite them having Aegis. I feel like... I don't know if you're happy just giving up 2 towers necessarily like this.
Dire's
They're going to have a glyph.
structures are fortified.
They're not happy, and that's why they're walking straight to mid. They're like,
Yeah,
fine.
okay, it's
Anything
okay.
you can do, we can do not as well.
Nice. Yeah, that's how it goes, right? That's the song. Anything you
The
can
remix
do.
right now. We can do slightly worse. Nope. Doesn't feel like one right now. This recall is fully defensive from bait to try to get out. Last year, able to TP away. But there is a hunt on. 5 up, able to get out. Fisherman's going to be left behind. But he feels like he's done his part because he did press Flesh Golem before he died.
Yeah, I think the thing about this though is that this should favor Tempo quite heavily as they have the Treant, so they should just be able to heal this tower. And be very happy.
I
with this
remember,
trade.
I think the first person I heard say it regularly was like Blitz. It's kind of advice to people. Like the easiest point to like help you win games is if you can keep your tier 1 tower alive for like the 30-minute mark, you put yourself in such a strong position to win the game because the enemy team just can't make any maneuvers into your like side of the map.
Yeah, I mean especially the mid tower I think is the one that you generally just keeping your mid tower alive. It's just like you want to control the center of the map, which also is true actually for chess. You want to control the center of the board. Dota and chess, not so far apart.
I just like to watch the way they know.
Nice.
It's usually why I lose first.
I just like to watch storms zip around.
You might like that, but you might want to let mid because Mitch is about to be the proverbial knight in this situation. Or is he? LeBron's the easier one. There's the pawn, now there's the knight. Mitch does use a poison over. It's cute. But let's stop at that. It's cute. There's no way they do anything with this.
It didn't accomplish all that much.
Radiant's middle
See
tower
here
has
if
fallen.
they're going to continue this. They did use the meta and a roar, but they're just gonna be happy getting the tower. They got 2 kills and the tower. It's fairly decent. And you know that if this game keeps going on, like later and later, at least from my point of view, I feel like this should end up in Bait's favor. As they have the Terrorblade.
It's the TB. Like,
Yeah.
let's be honest, right now, it's the TB era in Pro Dota. It feels like the strongest carry. You can easily win most of this game. However, Bendy is not having a good game so far. Feels like this is happening 1 or 2 times too many. Yeah, he's only 4 deaths, but it feels like the moment they see Puck, there's never a hesitation for tempo. They'll immediately jump him every time.
And they're gonna catch up
Okay,
Fishman too. And a DD rune bottom. I think this should be a... Oh, see, that's the thing about Terrorblade though, right? That could have been an easy tower, but Terrorblade keeps pushing out those waves. They still might get this tower bottom fairly easily.
So you missed the additional detail when they done that gank and that double kill. They slowed down TB's farm because they killed his illusions. Thought you spot this Pycat, you know,
Dire's
being the
bottom
greedy
tower
boss one that you are.
has fallen.
Come on, man. Why you gotta be
I
like
know you
that?
wanna hit
Why
creeps.
you calling out your co-caster? You know we're gonna be doing more serious. And now it's like... I mean,
Have
like
I made it
earlier,
awkward?
like you remember how you were like, dude, you gotta laugh at my jokes and say I'm funny. I'm not gonna do that anymore.
Whoa. Everyone knows that's not true based on the fact you were only giving me a 4 out of 10 for my punts, all right? And they were at least a 5.5.
I gave you a 5. The most recent one was a 5.
Dire's
I called
middle
that.
tower
I had to
has
work
fallen.
for it though.
Yeah, now you're going back to 3. No matter how funny it is. Initiation on the beasts on the bottom here.
Yeah, Noob is getting wrecked a little by this. He has to back away. Now, I'm noticing a theme. This does seem to happen more than half the time. If they don't kill the Phoenix, nobody dies. Okay, there we go. They got the idea this time. The problem is there's a primal roar to ensure that the Phoenix isn't going to die. And now you have no Doom to play with.
Yeah, and we do see this thing here, right? Like where, yes, okay, we see the tempo is up quite a bit, 6k in gold, but we also see Terrorblade is the top net worth. And he is, the way things are going, he's just gonna go get further and further ahead.
Yeah, he's content with the stalemate where they just hit creeps, right? Like, you know that moment where someone like pulls out a fresh cigar and they sniff it? That's
Right.
like Chrysalis right now with the creeps. He picks them up, sniffs them, and then like opens them up and takes all the coins out.
Yeah, this is sort of the ideal kind of type of Terrorblade game. Yeah, sure, you're against a Storm, but it's kind of whatever. I think once he gets to this Manta, whether it's Butterfly Satanic, whatever it is, what have you, he's going to feel very, very, very strong.
Okay, you literally just get to that stage where it's like, oh, what's that? Everyone on the side of bait is dead? Ah, it's fine. I can 1v5.
Yeah,
And
at some
when you
point...
consider the immobility of a lot of their heroes on tempo, that's not far off what he can do in these fights.
Right. At some point you are gonna want this axe though on Puck, so it would be nice if he could manage to get some sort of farm. He is falling quite far behind the Storm. Not that it matters necessarily their net worth comparatively, it's more so just... I mean, now at this point this Puck is no longer, you know, so much the position 2. He's kind of sharing it a little bit with the Beast.
It's the fact that you can't really set the paces easily. However, if Mitch walks out like that, that does give you a good opening. Now, they have used the Metamorphosis, and they're hunting for more instead of going straight to the pit.
Yeah, I think they didn't know the Roche had just
Chris?
respawned.
Oh, stomp hit. Overgrowth as well. Phoenix in trouble, doesn't get the egg off in time, and Fishman's going to go down as well. Chrysalis is being juked down the side. Now, I'm going to force Cryolite back. He actually stands his ground and fights up against Chrysalis. Chrysalis has to back away. In the meantime, they are going to bring down LeBron. And last hero moving forward. With that attack speed aura coming into effect, Cryolite is getting extremely low. The farm flick should come through, and the miss chance favors him. The stomp forward, DNZ trying to find a kill in the Puck, but can't. Dendi does get out in time.
Yeah,
this will reset, and you've wasted so much of the Metamorphosis on this.
Yeah, the miss hits uphill, and I think the medallion from LeBron onto the Drow, kind of at the last second, might have saved him.
Yeah, and because you got greedy now as bait, this Metamorphosis not only feels wasted because you didn't get Roche with it, now that you don't have it, Tempo are very likely to just go in the pit.
Yeah, this should be a fairly easy Roche.
Illusion.
There's no meta. It should be kind of spooky for them to contest. Yes, they have the Phoenix and they have the Puck with the coil and everything and Tombstone, but think you're too far away at this point. And unfortunately, now you're going to be playing into a Storm with Bloodstone, with Orchids, and with an Aegis.
Exactly. It's the case of if you came to fight the pit anyway, like you dream call them, you egg them, that's fine. They don't need to move. They came for Roche and they were never going to leave without it. And as you said, you know, the first Aegis, we usually say that's kind of like you establish a bit of control, you get a little bit of breathing room. At this stage in the game, an Aegis in the hands of a hero like Storm Spirit, potential keys to bait space is just waiting now. And also when you get an Orb of Destruction on your Drow, that's perfect at this point in the game to begin pushing into their base.
Yeah, Orb of Destruction on the Drow, Paladin Sword on Terrorblade. He has gone for a lot of these, like, you know, the semi,
Defensive
not
items.
super expensive items on the Terrorblade. Yeah, he has like the Pike and the Manta and the drums, so he has a lot of net worth, but none of these really, you know, the hard-hitting items. He is queuing up a Daedalus and Skadi.
And also, when you kind of invest this much into defense funks, you've got your Manta, your BKB, and the Hurricane Pike, and then you're sitting on only 2k HP, you do still feel really vulnerable. Trin, more so as he gets caught out by the Primal Roar. They are going to defend this on the side of Tempo. Rouse TP into the tier 3 tower. And I wonder if Bay are going to try and fake back on this. Just move to the high ground, see if they can force them into an awkward engagement.
I'm not sure if they wanna. They should know that there's no buyback on the Treant, but at the same time they are playing into an Aegis and a DPB on the Doom.
And straight away, they go on a Chrysalis. BKB, Metamorphosis, he gets zoomed off. The damage down to TNT and bringing him down low. Undying is going to go down in the meantime. Poison Nova is thrown out. Drow trying to escape. Mitch being ignored. They know the big target is the Drow Ranger. But they turn around and they take different targets instead. They're going to be able to bring down that Phoenix. And now Noob controlling this fight up. Doom is running out and Chrysalis cannot get a Thunder out in time. They're able to finish the kill and seal the deal. And Noob, almost enough mana to chase onto Dendi. He's just short though. Dendi should be able to get away. That's a big fight loss for Bay. They don't get rid of the Aegis. They don't kill off the Drow. Basically, they don't get anything out of that because the cheese wasn't even forced.
Yeah, and it's a little bit awkward for them, I think, to fight there. There's like there's this Aegis on Storm. Yeah, they were really close to killing the Drow Ranger, but even if they do manage to kill him, there's still gonna be the Storm, and he can chase you. Of course, they were hoping on the Terrorblade, just Doom running out and him being able to sunder and turn the fight around, but that is kind of a big if when he doesn't have any status resistance. Yes, you know, he went for the Manta over the SNY in order to be able to break kind of the Treant's overgrowth, which is understandable, and also be able to push lanes. And he also doesn't have Satanic, so there's no status resist, so it's a full Doom. He does go down.
And it wasn't like it was the cleanest initiation from the Doom, right? Like, you got juked out by the Manta, the BKB and the Metamorphosis was still cast as well. Like, TV was still able to fight. Speaking of fighting, they go straight in. The Primal Roar does come out. This stop is huge, though, from DNC. Ransom all location. Undying can't escape either. 2 down, 5-back's going to come out from both the supports. The Beastmaster, he's gone as well. And Noob, they still have not got through this Aegis. Everything thrown onto Storm, but he refuses to go down, and his name is all to the contrary. Still gets away. Might go down finally, but I mean, did you really want that? He's now coming back on full HP and mana, and he might just hunt on the Fishman. Straight in, hello, BKB, chases in, looking for more, turns around on the bigger target, Phoenix, who gets silenced off. Is tanky and hard to get through to the towers to help pop him up. That's not enough. They bring him down this distance as Drow. Krylat turns around on Undying as well, gets him low. He won't quite die, he'll barely escape. They'll just turn around and hit the buildings instead, and they say, okay, actually, we were willing to back away. We were done with your base for the time being, but if you're going to throw more bodies at us, well, then stick more buildings in. That's the follow-up meal for us.
Yeah, they have the Drow, and he just passed the cheese over to Storm, so Storm's still going to be able to fight quite well. Even though it doesn't have Aegis anymore, BKB is on cooldown. Looks like they might get 2 sides here. Doom is also ready, so not the easiest fight to take for Bait right now.
I remember this game feeling very different. Us being at a stage where, oh, you know, they got a Terrorblade, they'll get there. But now being 2 lanes down in this situation, no sign of Dendi being able to be a hero. Your Beastmaster can't really apply much pressure in these fights. I think the load on TV's back is getting a bit too heavy at this stage.
Yeah, I think the fact that there's no Ags on the puck yet, and I also think that maybe some of these potentially these like the cheaper items on the Terrorblade, maybe they could have been something else. Like, I'm not necessarily sure you want like the combination of these Manta style drums and Pike. Like, I feel like it's a lot of items that the cost adds up. They're not super expensive, and so yeah, it's understandable. There's some stats item. It's nice for padding, but in the end, if you have a Satanic or if you have Butterfly, something like this, it just lets you fight in a different way. And maybe that could have been something that would have pushed some of these fights over the edge and made them a win for Bait.
Yeah, it's like I can't recall the last time an item pickup from Bait felt like a huge power spike. Like, yeah, he got this BKB, but he's really not able to stand in the fight and dish out the damage that well. Like, remember the last time he used Metamorphosis to the BKB, he still got doomed, couldn't even kill DNZ in that window. They just kited him out and obliterated the whole team. So then you're like, okay, what other items we got to play with? Like, what is our big kind of go? We can do things now. Like, you've got 5-up trying to go for a Lotus. Decent game for it, for sure. But Puck's still kind of in no man's land. I mean, Dendy's desperately trying to find relevance, and there it is. He actually has got the goal for the Ags. This is his moment to shine. He does not have buyback. In fact, only one person on the one member of the side of Bait has buyback, and that is the TV kind of thing.
Yeah, I think maybe the one thing that they can look for is like now they are gonna need this MTB on the Terrorblade who gets caught.
Look at the last hero, stunned up. Primal Roar gets forced up. DNC is BKB'd up, and now Christmas tries to go in. Does get the thunder off of the last HP LeBron. And now the egg on the side. They're going to turn around. Look at the Storm Spree. He's stunned for a long time. Eats the cheese, but is still silenced up. He's trying to plus stun up to heal up. He's able to move away. 2 dead on the side of Bait, and nobody owned down on the side of 10. So yeah, and they're going to chase him for Puck. Noob, he knows he can hang around with a kill and get out safely because Chrysalis can't do anything. Dendy does live. All lining in from Noob is off the mark, but the fact is that Chrysalis has used everything, and he doesn't get rewarded with anything for it. They'll just come for the rest of your base now.
Yeah, the Drow is dealing so much damage at this point. And he's also able to just position himself with this pike and the spider legs. And we see Noob, he just wastes so much of the time of this Puck and the Terrorblade. He's kind of just fighting them both. And he manages to just narrowly escape the stun from the Phoenix Egg.
It's that lack of like instant lockdown. It really is just Puck. All game long, it's been the Dendy factor, but all game long, he's been unable to get that god tier coil that can convincingly take a fight. And as a result, the only thing being taken here is tempo taking Bait's base.
Yeah, there's just not much they can do anymore. There's just going to be mega creeps. The Terrorblade doesn't have meta, so they couldn't fight even if they had all their heroes alive. Tempo can kind of decide whether or not they want to, stick around, or if they actually want to just wait for another Roche. Yeah, I mean, the ball's kind of on their court. They can do whatever they want with it.
I think you're thinking of going for the throw, right? Because meta is still down for about another minute. So they do exactly that. Rylac just giving everything the clicks. Fishman casually dying, almost dead. Does get the tombstone down, nowhere useful. They desperately want that kill in a minute. Jump in straight away by Doom though on top of Beastmaster, trying to force out the Primal Roar. I love the way DNC's been playing these fights. Like, he just wants them to throw all the spells on top of him. All line across. Whoop, 5-up's gone. The Druid Coil's been used. Okay, that might be the final nail in the coffin. Overgrowth's going to come out. Doom thrown out onto Chrysalis. They'll chase it down, hunt him to his fountains. Turn around, look for a kill on the last hero. The Glyph has been thrown out as well. There's going to be buyback coming out from LeBron. The Primal Roar has been used. Noom will die. He'll go for the buyback straight away, though. In the meantime, we'll be able to find the kill on the Fishman. All they have to really do is regroup and bait space. And then look to end this one. Ball lightning across, straight on top of Dendy. He's trying to make his escape here. Blinks away, but there will be a chase forward straight away. Thunder try and save the day, but Chrysalis now leaves himself low. And Noob, that's not your fountain. Get out. You've already died once here. Just turn around, hit the buildings, end the series. Tempo. Taking a pretty convincing 2-0. Wow. First game closed, but this one, I mean, they understood their draft and they understood where they had to peak.
Yeah, and I quite like the way that you were mentioning DNC play. I quite like the way Noob played too, and I think